Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. It's Wednesday on Your View, and welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afola. Girl, what are your plans today?
Yeah, I got plans.
I can tell. We can tell.
So I just, last week, I just told Oga, please, hope you don't have any meeting on Wednesday. He's my Well, tell me. I say, no. We can't be married for this long. You won't allow me to surprise you. I got plans. So I don't want to say the plans here because I have people who watch the show every day.
You don't look it. You look prepared for the good time.
Thank you.
Head to toe. She's looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
How you doing, Nemo?
Tomorrow is Valentine. So I know
Who got you?
Bumi.
Oh, that's our producer.
I know the date. She said, I know you because you know, because I know you will come like you used to. Please, make sure. I'm fine. I'm grateful to God.
Anything else happening to you? Anything interesting?
Okay, I'm visiting a client's property today that I'm managing, and a estate I'm managing. So
Nice.
work.
Bless you.
Okay, how you doing, Tokwe?
I'm good. I was a guest on Wake Up this morning for...
Oh, you were? No wonder they're talking about it. You see you everywhere.
meal.
Imagine
and the
that.
chef chose not to come today. You're not seeing the Game of Money come. Let me come up so that they can see. I'm wearing the t-shirt so that they can see the Game of Money conference. Every road in Lagos.
Leads to.
With media partnership, and that has helped to run our adverts on TV and have a view. It's important to have people support you, so I'm celebrating my support from TVC. Thank
Producer, the brief. This is just me going by the producer's view. There's nothing
No
Valentine,
plans.
anything, no plans today.
Oh,
But we
don't do
thank
that.
God for life. We thank God for faithfulness. So some of us,
I'm sure Miriam will
we
have plans.
try really hard not to be worried about people that are having plans because we have accepted our fate that God,
In
this
fact,
is
you know
we
what?
are all
I
right.
enjoy
Infinite
watching.
As I will give myself heartbreak. So let me just accept.
No, but in this case, it's not him. Like, BC is doing our own plan. We are the ones doing our own.
Trust me,
It's not
we
gonna
tried this
happen.
in the past and
Oh.
it doesn't work.
It didn't work.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. Emefiele's $6.2 million trial. Buhari's signature forged, says ex-SGF. Federal government knocks PDP governors for failing as leaders. Audits report no record of funds recovered between 2016 and 2019. Tinubu showers Eagles with land, flats, and national honor. Shetima inaugurates panel on herder-farmer clash. Air Peace begins Lagos-New York flights. Access Holdings awaits CBN's nod for Agbede as CEO. Payment of wage award for federal workers resumes. And Oyetola Port's community plan will aid ease of doing business. Okay,
yes,
story.
So the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Mrs. Nkiruka Onyejocha, had a meeting with the leadership of Labour Congress NLC and the Trade Union Congress TUC in Abuja. And the meeting was called in response to Labour's ultimatum, a 2-week ultimatum over the claims of non-implementation of the agreements they had reached with the federal government in October last year. So the minister in that meeting has said that the payment of 35,000 naira minimum wage award to public federal workers will resume this week. And, you know, she also told the Labour leadership that the government has stepped up efforts to complete the implementation of the agreements that they had had so far. And she said, and I quote, "It is true we entered into an agreement, but the government has shown good faith. And considering the urgency of the issue at hand, I called this meeting because dialogue has always been the best way out, and we are all here for our well-being and the well-being of our people. I'm here to show good cause on why some agreements have not been met." And so she went ahead to explain that the CNG-powered buses, you know, that the federal government had started, they had been able to pay 70% for the procurement of the new CNG buses and CNG kits. And some of the buses are already ready, getting ready to kickstart. Others are being assembled locally. And that may also include some tricycles in the long run. So looking at between March and April, that will be in motion. And also they are going to be visiting the Port Harcourt refinery to plans that they have agreed to. Is not something that will happen immediately. Some of them will happen in stages and different phases, and we just need to keep dialoguing and keep holding each other accountable. Okay. And at the end of the day, they should just shit their and go back.
All right, another story.
The headline in The Nation is mind-blowing. President was brought into the witness box, and he was presented with a document of $6.2 million paid to election observers. Instead, that signature was not that of the former president. He also insisted, even though there was a fake meeting on the date on that document, that fake meeting that fake meeting, which was the 187th fake meeting for the country, that document did not even come. Usually sent to him because he is there. He's the one who takes those documents. He also said, he said that the payment, that he said to be a letter from president approving the payment, asked if he could, he said he could not recognize the document. He said he was seeing it for the first time, and on face value, forget this point. He said it was the sole responsibility of INEC to provide for election observers, and that he had witnessed 2 elections already. that nothing, he knew nothing about money said to have been withdrawn for the payment of foreign election observers. Now, the EFCC has minuted to the agenda of an administration was fight corruption.
Yeah.
This
And
level of corruption
Nigerians
took place.
under that administration were able to
Carry out this magnitude.
not used to certain words like was used in that letter. He also said that the president will never end a letter with a caption.
Well, we can't read it. We can't read that. To New York, the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development has given the green light to Air Peace, Nigerian company, Nigerian-owned company actually, Air Peace. From here to New York with a Nigerian-owned airplane.
I've never flown through Air Peace outside Nigeria.
My brother flies Air Peace actually when he's going within Africa, especially. So I think he goes South Africa.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on quickly now to the Punch. Eighth-day morning. Tinubu gifts Eagles land, houses, national honors after AFCON. Customers tired of estimated billing. FD tells Discos. Buhari's signature forged to withdraw $6.2 million from CBN, says XSGF. And track bandits with biometric systems, Senate tells security chiefs. Let's start with the Discos. Who has that story?
Well, let me take the story of the ports. The Minister for Marine and Blue Economy, that's the former Governor Adeyemi Oyetola, has said that there will be a new implementation from the ports. So those that have been complaining about the ports community system, he mentioned that the minister said that the port community system in Nigeria is there will be implementation of a new report. He's quoted that the solutions that you'll be providing, there will be no more delays in maritime traffic, there will be enhanced cooperation between the governments and ensuring uniformity in formalities and procedures. He also said that it's a facilitation between the International Convention of International Facilitation of Maritime Tariff Traffic and International Maritime Organization. No country can experience major growth without the ports working well, because we're moving in things and moving out things. So getting the system, this port community system up and running without Nigeria sabotaging it would make the blue economy be very effective. So I'm looking forward to the implementation.
Let's go to a short break now. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait be your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road. Nepa Road. In Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch.
I have the Super Eagles story. So the president yesterday received the Super Eagles players and all officials of the Nigerian Super Eagles team that went for the AFCON, and he honored them by, gifting them the member of the Order of the Niger National Award for securing the silver medal at the AFCONs. And he also declared that they'll be getting a donation of flats and plots of land to each of them, and the Minister for FCT immediately distributed funds for the allocation of lands and flats to each of them to be given at a yet to be disclosed location within the FCT. And the president said in his own words, he said it's not easy to absorb a loss, particularly when the expectations are high, but you have demonstrated sportsmanship, resilience, and team spirit throughout the tournament. And he said he's also very appreciative of the fact that the role they played in fostering unity within the country throughout their remarkable performance, despite finishing second, and he urged them to hold their heads high, even though, we're dragging all over on social media. But then this gift has been criticized by those in the army, saying that, they give a bigger sacrifice of ensuring security and their lives, and they've never seen a soldier man be honored.
Yeah,
that was online
like
yesterday as well.
They have an internal honoring system and promotion.
Don't argue this thing.
I'm not arguing. I just supported.
Don't move on.
Just leave it here.
Leave the matter.
Okay.
Naturally feel bad when.
All right. So I was going to take the crash where Nigeria is still mourning the death of the Chief Executive Officer of Access Holdings, Herbert Wigwe, his wife, son, and also the former. Trying to get his name exactly, Mr. Bimbola Ogunbanjo, former group chairman of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, all died, including the pilot, died in a helicopter crash within a town between California and Nevada. So according to the press briefing that was held yesterday, Michael Graham, who is the board member of the NTSB, they said that the preliminary report will be provided in 30 days in March, after which it's going to take another 12 to 24 months to provide the full report of the wreckage. But currently, preliminary reports will just give us an idea of what took place, and that would happen in 30 days. They're also saying that I'm trying to see what other details they give to us, but pretty much where they are on top of the investigation to see exactly the details. Unfortunately, as Mariam took yesterday, there was no black box in the helicopter, and it was so they have to rely a lot on aerial surveillance of what happened and documenting the wreckages, and the sea, and also eyewitness accounts. Hopefully, we get a full report, but at least with that report, we have an idea of what caused the initial wreckage of the helicopter crash. As I said, Nigerians are still mourning the death of these men and the woman and her son. Really sad story indeed. It's been a crazy time for us.
So the upper legislative chamber had a meeting with the service chiefs and heads of other security agencies on the rising insecurity in the country. They said the meeting was held behind closed doors, which started at 3 p.m. and ended at 9:30 p.m. And the people present were the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tawhid Lagbaja, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, the Chief of Air Staff, and a host of many other stakeholders in the security system. And the Senate was asking the security chiefs to use biometric systems in nabbing criminals, including kidnappers and terrorists, and also that the fact that they need to collaborate between the security agencies and Ministry of Interior in tracking all of these criminals. Then they went into discussing with the security chiefs, all the problems we've had, listing all the kidnapping events and killings that have been happening in the country, and saying that for us to even have a form of stability at all, we must, which would affect other parts of the economy, we must stabilize our security, because it's the security issues. If we don't have a lot of insecurity in the country, people will be able to go about their businesses, then our economy can grow, farmers will be able to go to the farms and all of that. So security should be on the top burner of the issues that they have to be dealing with. And also the fact that now we have biometrics like the NIN, the BVN, and the VIN, which is a vehicle identification number as well. And these are some of the things that you can use to track criminals, so that once it's just a punch away, once you can impute the person's either the BVN or the NIN or the VIN, you can trace anybody. And so people will not be able to have multiple identification. Yes. Once you put your prints, you have one identification. That would aid solving our security issues.
Okay.
So I want to take the story about the customers tired of estimated billing. Obviously, the federal government has warned discos. The Punch had released an exclusive report that the discos had overestimated bills for 7.1 million unmetered consumers. They also did an exclusive report in December 2023 that there were over 333,000 complaints lodged against discos concerning the same metering and estimated billing challenge. Another part of it was that 105 billion naira was made by discos overestimating the bills for people. Now, NEC had already said if you do not provide meters for a community, people within that community, they put a cap on how much you can bill them. But the discos flout the regulation of NEC and bill above what NEC had put as a stipulation for that area. Then there's another category, in that people have paid for meters, that the disco has no business charging for meters, prepaid meters, because it's a service supposed to provide. You now ask them to pay. People paid, you did not give them the meter. Now you're saying meter is expensive, they should pay extra for the meter. And NEC is saying that, no, you have no business. The director for finance in NEC, which is, his name is Nathan Rogers, is a commissioner, sorry, not director, commissioner for finance and management service of NEC, Nathan Rogers, explained that customers shouldn't have to pay for that additional cost because they had paid. Any customer who has paid for meters should get the meters by the cost they paid. No additional cost should be charged to them. And this is dragged for too long. There were several complaints about the issues within power.
So I'm aware that there's because I applied for 6 prepaid meters in June last year, and they were recently just delivered. Oh, wow. They were caught in between the increments, and so they are sorting out those earliest payments little by little. It just reached my time. So I know that eventually it will go round. Okay. Yes, but the estimated bill thing is so true, and it's something that NEC must sit on top of.
Yeah. Okay, the Nigerian Tribune, this finest story we've not taken. We create spaces where black individuals redefine their narratives, access unprecedented opportunities, says Dr. Francisca Fajimi, founder Your Black Matters. Economic hardship, FG knocks PDP governor, says most of them owe workers, pensioners. Tinubu honors Super Eagles, players with MON and lands. Why Nigeria's forex reserve will drop to $24 billion in 2024. I took that story yesterday. 42,000 nurses have left Nigeria in 3 years, says federal government. Reps get bill for creation of Okeogun, Ijebu, Ife-Ijesha state in southwest. Okay, which story?
Let me quickly take the nurses. So the registrar for the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, Farouk Abubakar, yesterday said 42,000 nurses have left this country. and he's using this to justify the National Association of Nurses, Nigerian Nurses and Midwives new certification verification guidelines issued by their council, which required that those seeking verification of certificates to foreign nursing boards and council must have 2 years qualification experience and also pay a non-refundable application fee. So that 2 years will, of course, hold that knowledge they have acquired within our shores cheaply, hold them back to apply the knowledge, assist before they can leave. So he said they're not holding anybody from them, but that immediate learn and leave, take the knowledge at a cheaper rate and live with it is not going to continue. So nurses are now required to spend 2 years of have 2 years experience before they can qualify for those certificates to be given, and then after which they can jackpot
if they want.
So the federal government's lawmakers have gotten bill for additional states. Me, I'm not understanding because we have an economic challenge. It's a request. The request is for 3 additional states within the southwest, one of which is Okeogun. Another one is Ijebu, my people.
Okeogun State.
No, Okeogun, yes, there'll be Okeogun. Then Ife, Jesha, states respectively. It's a bill, and everybody has a right to ask, you know, and this bill has been submitted. They are seeking for an amendment also to the Constitution as well, and they are seeking the introduction of the new state and reducing the number of local government areas. So it's not just let's have states, reduce the number of local government areas, increase the states. They broke down each person defending why they should be getting additional states. You can read the story to get the details, but I'm waiting for what the lawmakers will do concerning this. They've been clamoring even from the southeast as well that they also want.
Any other stories?
Balance with the.
Yeah, I have a sad story here. Resident of Ajegunle, area of Lagos, Mrs. Barakat Adio, has been stabbed to death by one of her neighbors during a disagreement over water. So according to the story, they said she had to go to a public borehole to fetch water that Sunday evening and then got into an argument with one Cynthia lady. And before they realized it, that one just got out a kitchen knife and stabbed her to death.
Woman to woman.
Woman to woman. For whatever reason, the details are not, showing what they argued about. But it was the deceased husband that went to report the case to the police. The police has confirmed the story. They said investigations are ongoing as we speak.
Very quickly, we have to run off right now, but Vanguard, the Asagba of Asaba. Asagba of Asaba. Chike Edozie passes on at the age of 100.
From my state, yes. So the Asagba of Asaba, Delta State, Professor Joseph Edozie passed on. He passed at the age of 100.
Wow.
And he was a very well-learned, well-traveled humanitarian. Even the president has sent his condolences to him. Everybody, family members, everybody was thinking about him. And he was the 13th Asagba of Asaba. But now they've picked a regent to hold on for his son.
Yes.
So the regent, I think, is an uncle who would be.
Really? So where is his son? Outside the country?
For now, I'm not sure.
No.
Not in Asaba anymore. Maybe my dad would give me all of
it's
it.
very interesting. So they'll not bring them back and they'll take over.
You're not actually supposed to be growing with your father. You're not supposed to be in the same place with your father. Yes. No, we came from Benin, so now our tradition, our culture.
Do not. They are kings in waiting.
Yeah. So they don't see their father.
Really?
He passes.
Officially.
Yeah. Officially see their father.
Wow. Okay, that is all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, it's Valentine's Day, but first, our hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
Not
There's no judgment.
No, and I
Oh, they'll
respect,
judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
Resentment from
on
whom?
you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Man, just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
When they are nice divorcees.
I would just
What
be...
if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll just drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you're paying me.
So it's more passive-aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people.
Ah, see this one.
Because you cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, oh, hi, yeah, I'm working. Oh, yeah, take 100 naira,
If
take
you're
10K,
your sugar
take
daddy,
15K. It
No,
does,
be
you don't have to be
considerate,
my sugar
actually.
daddy or sugar mommy. See, the way you treat others is the way they will treat you outside. And if you cannot treat your workers well, they are not a good boss. If you cannot be dashing me small thing or giving me donuts when I'm working.
Thanks for staying with us. So today is Valentine's Day, but Nigerians are really complaining about the poor power supply to celebrate Valentine's. Their concern is that the current Minister of Power seems to be clueless on what to do, on how to ensure that especially Valentine's Day is not celebrated in darkness. They're complaining that the minister, Mr. Adeyemi, is yet to come out to tell us exactly what the problem is, because Nigerians are not having electricity today at all to celebrate Valentine's. First of all, it was bad enough that they watched the match in darkness. It was difficult for them to watch the match on Sunday. Some people have to go and start going to people's houses to watch the match, you know. But now is a day for love, a day for heat, a day for, you know,
the weather.
The weather is not even funny at all. And yet, the minister is mum concerning the power supply. What are your thoughts? How are you celebrating Valentine in this darkness? You can call us on 081 076 1679 090241 63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Entertainment _. We'd love to hear how Valentine is treating you today, especially. Nima, the darkness, right? Electricity is bad.
It's been, since 2021 September, it's been from bad to worse. The ration for us now. And inside the ration, we'll now flashlight for 10 seconds. The pumping machine will pick up, and I'm about to get up to switch from inverters.
It goes again.
And then, why now? And the heat now for the past weeks is just not working. I have enjoyed 18 hours of power where I live. So I know it's possible. And when they opened one substation in Ira, it was supposed to decongest. But they say that now we are the most populated area under the discos and under satellite town, that we are more populated. And I'm wondering, then do something about it. Is it like it's beyond doing something about it? The disco seems to have money issues, you know, because I am on top of my disco. I go to the district office, I do my research, I find out why we don't have light. You know, if it's spoiled, I would be the one to tell my neighbors. If it's being fixed, I will tell them.
You were
So
their mouthpiece.
I do my research. So I know when I'm saying that, why do we not have light? You know, they will now say they have lower allocation from the TCN, and so they are managing to distribute it. All of those untidy issues goes back to whoever is at the top. Which is why I'm saying this minister, I'm not feeling him. How this thing used to work, because when BRF was minister for power, that was when they stopped estimated bills. So people started protesting to discourse that, well, on estimated bills, me too, I will not pay. You know? And then metering started. The compulsory metering method started. This minister has not followed up on those things. Why are the contractors that are supposed to give out meters having issues of increment? And somebody cannot say, okay, come, let's do a deal. Let's see what we can subsidize. Let's see how we can meet you halfway.
We had a few reports from their office, but I'd like to even give them that benefit of the doubt to get to
I took the story, yeah. The report is on generation, it's not on distribution.
We have given benefit of doubt. The minister, I've called out the minister right from when he became minister, that he's one of the ministers that his job is going to affect many businesses. Like he's in the eye of the people, and he's one of the ministers that is not functioning in an area where he's specialized. So himself, the minister Festus Kiamu, these are people that they are not in their field. If you fail, is in our faces. There's some ministries that what they are doing, you might not see it, but your own. And you got into a ministry that needs a lot of work. You need to be on top of it everywhere. Yes, sir. Everywhere. You are going from one station to the next station. With the discos, you are wearing. You are the one that should be wearing shorts and t-shirts with face cap, and going and saying that I heard this place was vandalized, because the excuse is, oh, they are vandalizing. Generation has dropped. All of that. We should be seeing you, because of the fact that Nigerians are suffering on many fronts. Power shouldn't be our problem, honestly. And it seems like it has gotten worse under your custody. And like the metrics will show it, we've been having power outage, shutting down, going to zero, going to a whole country.
Too frequently.
Going to zero over and over again. It does not look good. So I'm going to call the president, because our president is very responsive, that he should do some shake-up. It's time to do shake-up now. Yes, we've already done. They've done 6 months. If in 6 months you cannot, what are you showing for it? Let everybody come and submit their KPI.
You know, it's interesting how our reporter that we recorded, that we spoke to last week, he went to Ivory Coast. And before the first thing he said,
there is no
there's uninterrupted electricity. That was what he was saying. He was so excited that in a country where we have electricity.
That's what happens if you go to even other African countries. You see that their power is quite stable, and for anything or any time there would likely be an outage, they will start announcing early on. It happened while I was in Ghana. They were announcing, we're going to take the power for so and so, we need to fix this and fix that. And they will give you the number of hours the power will be out. And by the time the power gets back, you have the details, so people are prepared. And these countries are not as big as we are. So we have a problem of population too, and that's also because we do not plan very well. But to me, in this matter, it now seems like the universe is conspiring against us, because the heat, the heat is I think there's something happening.
Global warming.
Global warming. This is more than the harmattan that we are used to. This is like a heat wave issue, and now there's no light on top of it. People who are even surviving are those who manage to have solar. So I know that the electricity issues, when we talk about the distribution, generation, and all of that, should be handled on one hand, but can we explore other options? We have intense heat in this country. What are we doing with it? Let's look at solar. Governments can come in there. So we're not just waiting on, we're too large to be waiting on only one option when we have other options. Can this minister think, open your brain and think about the different options, so that when you're presenting your case and you are working towards it, you have other things to hold on to. Nigerians will see that you're working. You need to work for us. The people are really, really suffering. Not to talk about businesses. Now, we don't put on generator in my office. Even customer that comes, fan them as you are selling, be fanning. This is our light, because I can't be running generator. How much am I generating from the business? So it's a lot on all fronts. A lot of people are not able to cook in bulk. We know how things are very expensive right now. And so you have to buy small because there's no power to even refrigerate what you have made. So it's affecting us on all fronts, and this matter needs to be taken seriously. I like the fact that you called out the president. The president seems to listen to the plight of the people. So let him know that this matter now, we're going to be tying wrapper on the streets very soon. And he needs to call the minister of power to order.
So there was a protest in Rivers State where women came out to say that the heat
we cannot do
have allowed, that have discouraged their husbands from other room businesses. And they were doing like this at the protest. And all sorts of, dramatics to show that the situation was tough. This minister for power seemed to be just getting abreast of his ministry, because Toko just dropped that, he's not, it is a round peg, square hole situation. So
we've been told several times that
I don't think that's the excuse.
Successful ministers in the past.
So
it's not about that. Let's not make it look at that. That's
okay. So truly,
it's not a function of that.
The former BRF too was a lawyer.
Yes, exactly.
But
so
it seems to be very.
What I'm saying, so the administrative roles that anybody can do as long as he needs to show competence in that.
So number one thing will be, what is the consumer feedback? That would be, because if you want to address this cause from a corporate business, corporate angle, you might not really get they are serving a customer base. Go from consumer and ask us. Go without plan. Check, and if they put on Jen in your office too, you know that then the discos are not doing enough. And it's not even a disco issue. He went to the new plants. He went to 4 plants. I took that story on papers. Our 4 plants in the country that he said they are generating, and he's seeing the power generation. So his concern should be the existing problem before the last administration handed over to this one. The discos and the TCN and distribution issue was the main thing. We brought Motumba here, and everybody will say the generation is of optimum. The transmission is an issue. So why is he not on top of transmission?
Communication.
Yes. And these contractors with the prepaid meter issue, because a lot of people are decided to get prepaid meter no matter what, because the estimated bills can bury somebody alive. And you come in, that problem persists for 8 months. No, now. So what are you doing?
It didn't persist, though. It got worse. It got worse. And the cost of solar now. I drove from
a battery now.
Because we're buying it in singles.
I drove from LA all the way. I drove from LA all the way to Las Vegas. I drove 1 hour, top speed, like 70 miles per hour. Do 75 small. But I respected myself. It was not my country, so I kept to
before they hold you.
And all through 1 hour, it looked like it was water, because this was a desert. Everything was solar. 1 hour top speed. California is powered largely by solar. It was a drive. Then after, you now enter the wind. Massive windmill. So we can actually do it.
So it now takes me to the responsibility of the subnationals. The governors, the states have been empowered.
It has nothing to do with
They've all been empowered individually. Every state now has been given the power. They reviewed it. So where you can now begin to generate power. So governors need to think about it.
Power because I have desert.
So it's not about the president or the minister anymore. The minister, yes, is responsible, but each state knows that creative. How do I generate power within my state? So as I'm holding Adelabu, we're also holding the governors. Because right now, all of them must get creative.
Governors are responsible.
They're responsible.
Because, governors, we always abuse them that they don't know how to create internally generated revenue. And we're looking at them. But I expect Akwa Ibom now, under this new governor, because the previous governor was already discussing that they want to start to generate, because they have a large deposit of gas and they cannot continue to just
play it.
The previous administrations had gone into talks. And that's why it's supposed to be a continuum. You're supposed to come into office and check the existing books and say, okay, this is where I can shine. Not that you come and say, no, destroy, I want to build legacy. And you're wasting our time. We don't need that. But I would love to see the minister visit an Akwa Ibom, for instance, and say, okay, how and what do you need? We have the expertise to help you achieve this. Go to Borno, they have, Sokoto, for instance, they have someone that can dry 2 hours.
Fry egg outside.
Even the governors can partner with each other, have regional suppliers. Lagos, the Southwest can come together.
So
what can we do to generate power from Southwest?
Your federal, national powers, What it does is that you create collaboration with this sub-national
FDIs.
It's Valentine, and people are heat. They are hot.
Heat is too much.
Heat is
the result of 9 months will not show.
So if you the result, the 9 months result will not show because the heat, unless you have money to go to hotel. If you want to go to your house,
it's fun. It's fun.
Fan is not hurrying.
No, hand fan as you're walking is hand fan.
But the other room is difficult.
The minister needs to have a vision for the power situation of the country. And if the governors are not up to par yet in having these conversations, you call a meeting and say, this is the vision for the country. You have to draw up a plan on how you want to bring power to your state and meet me. So you also will be held responsible. What are you doing with the people who are supposed to be under you? And the governors also will be held responsible. What are you planning for the state? So everybody takes their own chunk of responsibility. We must spread it. We need
have to
power.
go on a short break. When we come back, I'd like to open our phone lines. Let Nigerians call in to let us know how power is in your state, especially today that you're supposed to be in the other room. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay,
thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be,
I just said, look, I give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
Final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
how many cameras do they have?
Nikon.
My friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now. Ladies and gentlemen, please help welcome to the show, La General, the one and only Pere Egbe. Which of the following is false about teeth? We are born with 20 primary teeth. Teeth are the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are the strongest bones in the body.
Teeth is not a bone, actually.
Teeth can self-repair.
The strongest bone in the body, no. Teeth is not a bone.
Final answer?
Teeth is not a bone. You know what came to my head now? That sound. Crickets.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to open our phone lines. I'd like to hear from Nigerians how they are celebrating Valentine's with this heat and no electricity. Call us on 081-764-1679-09024-163-440. Please tweet to us at TVC Entertainment _. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Any comments yet on social media?
So I didn't take social media yet. I'm just so appreciative of the fact that it's a woman that heads their prefect. You know, the president appointed Adiza Bala Usman to be the one to check the performances of each minister. And I'm hoping that she's watching and know how to be a detailed person. I'm hoping that she's on this ministry itself. Paperwork, everything, progress reports. as it's going, so that we will know what will be recommended.
So we're also calling out Hadiza Bala Usman
Yes,
to give Adelabu a query and he's yet to work and report it to the Mr. President.
We need power to
you call him honorable Minister Adebayo Adelabu.
We have to improve.
The president, our president, please. KPI, let's check what is going on in the power sector.
Will do that.
Let me take this call. Good morning. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Prince Balogun.
Prince Balogun, welcome to the show.
Yes. My sister, Aki Morayo, and my other sister, Jesu, my Ajia, Nima Saramale. Yeah, thank you. See, I'm happy I got to you people this morning. See, it's better you people change the language of expression to these people. It's Emerson grammar tired. They are not ready to do anything. One, say nothing. We struggle with those people to vote for them right from the early time. Look at the millions of dollars. These people are sacrificing our money. Looking it for themselves. The bankers, they are all old. All of you are travelers. You travel time to time. Most of you school in abroad. Is there anywhere in abroad that you have been to that you see the governor or governor of a state building mansion, lavishing money, and also they are not doing anything.
Thank you very much, Prince Balogun.
So there are a group of people that feel like the way the caller just expressed that the government isn't willing to work. I differ. I believe that the government is willing to work because we've engaged a few of them. But I feel like sometimes even the minister will feel like his hand is tied, and it's surprising. You will talk to senator, the senator is lamenting. You will talk to House of Rep, he's lamenting.
They're all lamenting. Look at
the governor, oh, you don't know how our hands are tied. Please, whose hand is untied in this government? So the minister too will be probably saying that the governors are not cooperating, the discos are doing this. Excuses will not solve this problem. And somebody must sit up and say, I'm not going to take any excuse. I need to deliver. And that is one of the things I would like our Minister for Power to say, because we've called you out. I've called you out right from the day you got this appointment. You can go back and play it. Because I just felt that there's a lot is expected of some particular ministries and they must show up. So no excuses. No excuses. Don't blame anybody.
Wait. You took a story earlier today that NERC is saying that they are complaining to the discos. So it's one thing for the minister to say, okay, these are the rules, because he is supervising over NERC, and these are the ones that are policy makers. He can't be the one to come and turn on or give you light in your house. So NERC is complaining that even you, the discos, you're not adhering to the rules. So there's only so much the minister can do, because it's also part of the we the people. Listen, it's also part of the we the people, because Nigerians who is in charge of disco, you must ensure that, number one, I am not double billing you. Am I doing the right thing? So I am the one feeling it. But there could also be levels where the minister has done his job of putting the policy in place, because he can't come and turn on the
everything rises and fall on leadership.
So
everything rises.
So if the discourse that
you can stand out like with Nwambali. You can have a team that is having issues and you will stand out because of your own excellence. You can be in a place where everybody is trying to sabotage you and yet you will stand out. So I'm expecting that we should start having our ministers come out and stand out like, I want to be the light inside this. Actually, Honorable, we need you to be the light, because Nigeria is the darkness. Like, I want to be the light in the midst of all of these challenges, and I will call out everybody. The disco is not working, I will call you out. The discos that are disappointing, the discos that are not paying, I will call out those discos, and we will now take you to court. Because NEC, you read NEC is complaining that the discos are not complying. The discos will complain, transmission is not giving us power. Transmission will complain, everybody is complaining. As long as we're complaining, we will not solve the problem.
No, NEC is not complaining. So NEC is a regulatory body and they're doing their work. I took the story, that's why I quickly found the story on last week Friday, where NEC said they had a stipulated standard for Nigerian electricity supply industry, on which they measure the performances of discos. And they reminded them that they will only be getting 50% of their operation expenditure based on their performances. All these discos. Where I will have problem with NEC is if I find out that the discos that I know got their full payment. That's where I have problem. But NEC, all their executives are speaking. The head of NEC is speaking. They are calling out. They are doing their regulatory work, and they are listening to us here. Nigerians should also, because NEC is in charge of our rights as consumers, be writing to that regulatory body. Let there be bouncing envelopes of reports before NEC. Yes, complaints. Of how bad the complaints are. Most of them are on the prepaid meters. So what I would love to see is that NEC is talking that they had a meeting with minister, but I have not seen.
Transmission is complaining.
Yes.
Gencos are also complaining.
They're not getting paid. They don't pay them.
So it's multifaceted. So now goes back to whose hand? Who do we hold?
Who is tying the hand? So let me tell you.
I'll come to you, Nima. You're busy in a second. Let me take this call. Emmanuel, thanks for calling. You're live.
Okay. Like I said, I'm calling from Mori.
Yes.
Delta State. The situation we are having is very bad. To the extent that in a week, we can only have light for at least 10 minutes. Yeah, in Warri, it's terrible. 10 minutes in the whole of Warri, like 10 minutes, is bad. I don't know what these people are doing. We paid for prepaid meter, they didn't give us.
So they will make profit.
We paid for prepaid meter, they didn't give us. We don't have light, nothing is working. I don't know if they want us to protest again. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I'm trying to see, I have a few comments here, but
yeah, can I?
Go ahead, BC, please.
So, things will not change if we keep being who we are and expecting a different result. We're not an objective people. Nobody would call out anybody because you are thinking of the future. What if I now spoil business for this person and tomorrow I need their help, they are not able to give me? And so we see the people that are doing things wrong, which will not allow, we don't allow in a private business. If it's this minister's business right now, it's not this one that hands are tied. Hands are not tied anything, head to roll. So if you have a KPI to deliver something, the discos that are not working, there are a lot of people who want to come into business. These people are disappointing you. You find another person. People align. But when it comes to government business, take it as is no man's land. Let me not block another person from chopping now. Maybe I'm chopping my own. That's where the problem is. And that's why when you talk to from the legislators to the senators to the lawmakers to the executive, everybody's hands are tied because they know the people whose heads need to roll for them to get what they want. But because of what they may benefit or lose from taking that action, they don't.
What if federal government is not owing them money? So let's go to the gen, because it might not be, yes, that might be, that's a point. There's some situations like that. Yeah, but the others figure by, they're owing money. Federal government hasn't paid us money. Yes. They need dollars. They're having, it's a cycle.
Exactly.
They can't get dollars to pay
why is the federal government not able to pay the money?
There's no dollar.
There's dollar for Esther code.
Just give you an example.
There's dollar for trips.
There's dollar for trips.
Dollar for other things that we do not take as priority. So why is the government not, my sister, why is the government not paying for electricity? And you want your people to have electricity. So that's part of the head rolling. You will know.
But we have to just balance. We also have our gas being, we also have our gas being flared. And we also have our people stealing the crude oil.
Yes, everybody.
So they're Nigerians.
This point,
the gas pipelines are damaged.
Last year during the gas inflation and cost. And the person, one Laji came on behalf of gas marketers and said, we don't have the infrastructure to take our gas to the needed areas.
Why don't we have it?
Where it's needed.
Where it is the
That's an investment the federal government should be looking towards. But the minister went to the Gencos and came back and said he would advise the federal government to take out subsidy. I'm wondering how that one.
That is all. Unfortunately, we have to stop there. I mean, I know we're leaving this abruptly, but we have to move because we have other segments to handle. But the truth is that today is Valentine's Day. Nigerians are complaining because there is absolutely no electricity almost across the nation, and it's really it's a painful situation. And many Nigerians are asking us to convey that message to the Honorable Minister Adelabu, Mr. Adebayo Adelabu. Please help us do what you can to resolve the issues of power. Let's go on a short break now. We'll come back, move on to the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyemi, the first. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7. like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? Think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good talking.
Thanks for staying with us. So in continuation with our love series this Valentine week, we visited the paramount Yoruba king of the Egba, a clan in Abeokuta in Ogun State. His Royal Majesty, Oba Dr. Michael Adedotun Aremugbadebo III, the Alake of Egba land. We had a great chat with him, and we talked about love and family. Watch this clip.
How are you? Hello, how are you? Sit down.
Welcome to our Let's Talk segment. We have our special guest with us. We have Kabiesi, Oba Dr. Michael Adedotun Aremugbadebo, CFR. The Okukenu the fourth, and the Alake and the paramount ruler of Egbaland. It's our special guest today. Welcome, Kabiesi.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's the month of love. It's February, and everybody's discussing marriage, love, and the fact that you've been in marriage for over 50 years. That in itself is a huge accomplishment that many people today cannot boast of for various reasons. We know many have always wondered how you've been able to retain just one wife. I mean, that's a question you've probably had so many times over the years. But it's important to remind us again, for those who haven't had the opportunity to hear from you, was it your own decision, or was it family? Why did you stick to having just one wife? And were you loyal for those 50 years to this one wife?
Thank you very much. It wasn't my decision.
Okay.
I think it was God's own decision. I made up my mind as a young boy that what I went through in a polygamous home, I would not want my children
to go through. That I had in mind, and God said, okay, and that's what has happened. It was not of my own making. I am not a saint, and it's just God that has made it possible for me to have the kind of life I prayed to have.
Kabiyesi, did you not ruffle any feathers? Because I'm aware that Obale Gbesele, also women are also gifted to Obas. Yes, and did your subjects not ever think, my daughter should be an Olori and offered any such gifts?
Well, it happens everywhere. Even in Egbaland, while I was in Ikpebi, many of my sisters would call on my wife. Your husband is sitting alone, and there are so many women there. Go and sit with your husband. Always urging her to go there and take her seat beside me. So it happens everywhere. Like the Yorubas say, "Kosibito otinko adiale, itababa meni barau." Thank you.
Okay. I want to talk. Still talking about the idea of polygamy and monogamy, and the fact that the narrative out there is, men are not wired to be monogamous. Like, they feel that men are naturally wired to be polygamous, and it is abnormal for a man to choose to be. People even say that it is wrong for women to expect a man to be monogamous. What would you say to that, sir?
Well, you are part of the people who say it's a man's world. Because it's when you indulge men so much that you say, it's unnatural for any man to be monogamous. That he must be polygamous. He must have them tall, have them slim, have them whatever shape or size. I don't think it's a man's word. I think it's everybody's word.
I wanted to talk about love, relationship, and family. It's really important to us to learn from you. We can't come to your palace and not learn something on family values and all that. So I'd like us to go back to your wife, how you met her in the beginning, because we all want to know. We always feel like, they say your first love. Was it a first love thing, or somebody? Was it an arranged marriage? Was it somebody you met in school? Was it cultural? What exactly? How was the beginning for us, for your marriage?
Well, we both came from Abeokuta, but she was born in Lagos and schooled in Ibadan. Oh yes, I was born here and I schooled here, but I now went to Ibadan Grammar School for higher school, and it was during my birthday, my 21st birthday, that we met here in Abeokuta. She came to spend holiday with her brother, late Barrister Soji Odunjo, and we met. And it's been, from the moment I saw her, this is going to be my wife. Oh yes, something told me that, and it happened 7 years after.
7 years after?
Yes.
Are you a romantic? Are you a romantic, Oba, or you just...
Well, I cannot see myself in the mirror. Others will see me.
Well, have you given her flowers before, chocolates, gifts, stuff like that?
Of course, I did that. But she happens to be more romantic than I am.
Oh, so she
Having been to a school, like the international school, and going to Switzerland, to learn French, and so on, and being in France for another year. So
she's a lover.
She's more romantic than I am.
Because we are trying to get wisdom. I want to ask things that you would use to advise. We are trying to get wisdom. Marriage. I want to share some of the things that you can use to advise any young person. What would you advise for 5 years? They are feeling like I'm done. What are the advice?
Well, I've been chairman of so many marriage ceremonies, reception. They seem to, descend on me that having been married for so many years, I should be the chairman and talk to them. But the first thing I always emphasize to them is to put everything in the hands of God. Whatever they did, it should not be because I'm this or you are that, whatever, whoever you are. When you come to marriage, you come as partners, equal partners before God. And if God is with you, if you call on God at your meals, at your bedtime, when you wake up in the morning, I think you are not likely to go apart too soon. You know, and when you have children, these are the things you emphasize, you know, with the children, and eliminate totally, you know, sibling rivalry. They must never be jealous of one another. At times, you may not have to tell one what you are doing to the other, because you are, unless you are able to do it to all of them, you are going to balance everything, and then you make sure that everything that you see in their bags or in their pockets are things that you have provided. You should never let them have something that you have not given them. Your home has to be, you know, just for father, mother, and the children, to the exclusion of everybody else. You know, you have to ensure that no matter how close that relationship may be with, you know, larger family, you should not let them influence what goes on. Otherwise, there'll be no end to it. You know, so I talk to them about minor things, you know, in the house, you know, how to ensure that a third party never comes to settle any quarrel between both of you. Never. You don't have somebody you run to, you know, or every time. That would be very wrong. You should be able to talk to yourself. This is what you have done. Please, you know, can you do something about it?
Fantastic. So that was the Alake of Igbaland sharing his thoughts on marriage, love, and relationship. He spoke quite a bit on culture, the insecurity going on in the Southwest. He touched about quite a number of other topics, but you can watch the full interview on YouTube. You can check the full interview there. You can get more information, but we really, really enjoyed that conversation with the Alake Igbaland. Let me start with you, because you weren't there.
Yes,
but what are your thoughts on the video?
The conversation is interesting. I like to hear from people who have done it. Evidence, yeah, track record. It's very important to us. And because for them to be able to stay together for this long, they've seen things that we haven't even seen and things that we may or may not see. And sometimes when they speak from a broader perspective of, you know, different things that has helped their marriage to be the way it is. And there's something that I just heard now while he was, you know, wrapping up about that your immediate family, that's your nuclear family, is the family that you must have that close-knit relationship with, and externals, the extended family members and other people cannot influence, should not be able to influence what goes on in your marriage. And it's something that I and my husband agreed before we got married, that no, by the grace of God, nobody will ever judge our case. Whatever is going on, we must be able to sit, look at each other and have a conversation. No matter how difficult and how painful that conversation is, we must put ourselves in that position where we are able to say it as it is, and we resolve it from there. And, you know, even last night, we wanted to argue. I just said, Oga, are you planning to marry another wife? He said, no, I'm not planning to marry another wife. Let's hug now. Tomorrow is Valentine. Don't stress. You know,
Right,
just things that you agree that keep you going for as long as...
Something he said that struck me, which I wish we had met the Olori or seen the Olori. We've met her before, but, you know, she wasn't feeling too well. Would have loved, because he said something that I'm not a saint. And when a man says I'm not a saint, it's a very heavy statement.
I'm telling you.
Know, it's a statement that can be unpacked in different levels, because the way if the wife is seated, so okay, the man that says I'm not a saint, please could you give us an idea of what he means by
what does the saint
what does, so because it could mean different things.
He's very deliberate about being with his wife. He's saying, I know other men can, you know, claim to be polygamous. It's not something that I can claim to have authority over. I'm just deliberately, intentionally the way I am. And that's what I heard him confirming. I know my dad had such issues as well. He will tell you I was brought by a polygamist. It's in my blood. But it is a struggle to want to remain in a monogamous marriage. And him being a king,
it's not for the lack, would have just been flying up and down.
Beautiful women. It is the deliberateness to
decision. Also, there was a part that we're dancing now. Maybe we just show that for a clip. We actually danced.
I dance.
Yes. Elijah to dance. What's the concluding part?
So that
display.
voice. That voice got me. Local traditional voice, well-honed craft.
I have this thing for the local drums.
Yeah.
I don't hear them. If I hear them, at my wedding, I promised myself I will behave. But when I heard the Pirori from my place, so forget it.
It was
I don't want
nice.
to see
It was
my
really
wedding.
interesting to witness. Even though Otumba Sunday was there. He's a chief. He's a chief, so he was actually working. It was his duty to be there for that activity.
So for me, he said a lot of things concerning Valentine and concerning love, but I think that what I loved more was what he said concerning culture and how he spoke about the fact that we need to, when we're trying to solve crime, we're trying to solve this anyhowness that we see on social media, it is by imbibing culture into our children, by letting parenting do the work, by letting community do their work. So, because I was calling him out, or the fact that, these Obas, some few Obas got killed a few weeks back and all of that. How do traditional rulers improve security? And he said it starts from people teaching about the culture. People, even as little as letting your child not bring what does not belong to the person to the house. So if we raise our children with the culture, with the values of the community that they represent. And he was talking about Egba land, that Egba nation, there are Egba people everywhere. There's a museum. Like in the US, there's an Egba museum, and there's a community in Texas, there's a community in the UK as well that have been there for ages, and people should find their roots so that you're not lost. You're not impressed by mindless people that don't have anything. So I think it's fickle things will not impress you because you know where you're from.
Absolutely.
I love
Very
that.
powerful, because we're taking a parenting class with Praise. And Praise will say, listen, we have to build our ancestors. We have to tell our children our stories, where you're from. Give them your roots, because then they have identity, they have pride in who they are. So when somebody comes on and tells them something else, they'll share their own story with you.
Like, I know who I am.
Also, you
don't have to grow up.
It's very, very crucial.
I didn't grow up in Ibi.
But you know.
I know very well my story, from my ancestry, everything, from my parents telling stories. It's a very important thing to do for family.
But let me bring you back to love quickly. Self-love is the bedrock of every kind of love. You have to love yourself. And as we are celebrating all this our Valentine's Day, when we interviewed him, you could see that, of course, he's a king. He carried that presence. But even other people that were there that were not the kings also carried the presence, because they knew they love themselves. So it's important that if you don't get any love, love yourself.
All right, we have to wrap up on this. We have to thank again Royal Hugs.
Amazing voice.
Thank you so much.
Voice.
They were wonderful. They were the one. They went with us to the King, and also we have to also remember Bless's Art. They did our studio for us. Thank you so much. Lovely.
And Vento.
Valentine's. Let's go on a short break now. Hopefully, we have our couple here with us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Etinosa Idemudia in the building.
Not be first to go police station, they win the case.
Is
So
she?
you are showing yourself.
I go see as my second
You are
question.
feeling like a contact the prancing peacock. I'm about to cut your wings. Hello. Now, in the amalgamation of 1914, who was the woman who drew the line of the amalgamation? Who cut the report? Who is the person that used scissors? What is his name?
That woman.
You have done me dirty. I've marked your face. I've marked your face. If anything happened to me today,
I don't
if I don't reach my house. Anyway, I'm gonna be chauffeured, so.
You remember now, Abby? Yeah, but you never too thin. Now you remember.
Hey.
If a person who indulges habitually in watching a sexual material is called a voyeur.
That's what they're called.
It clearly say you don't go even get the next one.
Hey, a voyeur.
Voyeur.
Then go on.
What is a person who makes one
A
called?
voyeur. A voyagiste. A bon voyage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 or 7, to be honest. Because ask your question. Think about once we finish.
We will not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
About neuroplasticity.
And based on
he asked a question that was subjective about high life, and he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us.
Editor, scratch this part out.
That could have possibly composed the music.
Editor, scratch this part out.
Stupidity is an act of ignorance.
Hey God, my day.
Was composed by which Kuti?
Femi Kuti.
Is that your final answer?
God, I'm Seun Kuti. No, wait, Femi Kuti.
You said
Femi Kuti.
Kuti.
Wait.
You can't be allowed.
No, you've not asked me anything.
Everyone.
You've not asked me anything. So my final answer.
No. All I have to say is this show is really about drinking.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
The questions don't matter.
That's the whole
Justice
idea.
is out the window.
We throw caution to
We
the
have
wind
no
right
morals here.
On the 7 of 7. Ladies and gentlemen, please help welcome to the show, La General, the one and only Pere Egbe. Which of the following is false about teeth? We are born with 20 primary teeth. Teeth are the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are the strongest bones in the body.
Teeth is not a bone, actually.
Teeth can self-repair.
The strongest bone in the body, no. Teeth is not a bone.
Final answer?
Teeth is not a bone. You know what came to my head now? That sound. Crickets.
So, editor, you can put that cricket sound there. You can still put it down too.
Thanks for staying with us. So, on our Valentine special today, we have a couple who's joining Your View, and they're part of our fans. They'll be discussing the genesis of their own love story, the attraction, how Dr. Adeyemi proposed to his wife, Omobolanle Adeyemi, the intrigues, the challenges, crisis management, love, language, house chores, the whole works. Because the idea really is to learn from couples, you know, celebrity couples, regular couples, rich couples, billionaire couples, you know, everybody. We're trying to just learn from all types of couples and see how they work together. You can call us on 081-764-1679, 090241634440. You can also tweet to us at tvcentertainment_. Please hashtag YOURVIEWTVC so we can read your tweets. Welcome, sir and madam, to our show. I said the billionaire couples. How are you guys doing?
Fine, thank you.
So it's Valentine. Let me start with you first. Today is Valentine. Okay. What are your own plans? What is happening? What is happening today?
For today?
Yes.
To be seated.
Wow.
I've actually sent my messages and all that, but I don't actually have.
Is the guy no plans with the guy today?
I don't know. Maybe
maybe do you have plans?
They are bringing money backwards.
Now that there's always a surprise plan.
Yay! Okay, so let's start from last year's Valentine. What happened last year Valentine? Maybe to give us an idea.
Oh, last year Valentine. Okay, I surprised him early in the morning with some gifts and then.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
That's why it's this year.
So, but I want to go back to I would like to find out your love story. Because I was at your wedding anniversary last year, and I remember that your wife, her mom was saying that it didn't look like it, and many people were against the relationship and asking her that, why are you letting your daughter marry this person? And he was like, no, she said she loves him. She said she loves him. If she says she loves him, I will love him too. As in, she said it over and over again that every time they ask her that, you want your daughter to marry this man? She says she loves him. If she says she loves him, I will love him. So please, can you say, how did you convince your mother that you love him enough to marry him? And what was it like getting to, in that beginning?
Actually, my mom knows that while growing up, I'm this kind of a street person that if I say my yes is my yes and my no is my no. And if, I think before I even met him, they were trying to amongst maybe my cousins that were age mates, at a point I was the only one that doesn't have any relationship. And when they would be like, maybe we should go and pray, I said, pray for what? Whatever God cannot give me, no man can give. And I told them that when my time comes, nobody can stop me. I told my mom, I said, not even you. So that's that time. My own time is going to come, so don't even bother yourself. So when I now came with him, they were like, oh, my mom was like, oh, I think this is the time. So
it was easy for them to accept you.
Then I went to she said I should make sure that my pastor, then that's my godfather, if he accepts him, then he will pray about it, then she will be more convinced. So I took him to him, and immediately that one said, he was like, Pastor, are you not going to pray? I said, pray. I've already seen, don't worry. I'm good to go.
I'd like to know the package he came in. Because we are also telling stories of how he grew. When he came, what was he doing? Did he have a roof over his head? Did he have a car? Did he have a good job? Was he earning well? Or how was he? Tell us.
So we were students then, actually. We met in school. And then I think before we even started talking, I was an usher, he was an interpreter. So there was one day, he just passed by me while I was ushering, and he came late, and he was the head of the interpreter. I was like, and that day I knew how I rushed to the service. So I'm like, this one that is even the leader of the group is just coming. I wish I can just come in gently like this too, and not rushing. So the policeman told me that's the husband. Tell him to stop coming later. I said, I bind you in the name of Jesus. So that was it. I didn't even say anything because we don't talk. I just see him on the altar, interpret, and that's all. So I don't say anything to him. I don't even know anything about him until...
So when he now came, which package?
The way he came was so funny that one day I didn't usher. I wanted to sneak out of service. So I just sat down beside him in church. And it was like, one of my friends was there, so he was talking to us. I was like, what's wrong with this one? Me and my friend were like, you know, so after the service, he ran after us. And we're like, I should give him. I said, I don't have phone. Not knowing that one gave him my number
already.
Out. So he just started calling me with one unknown number. I'll be like, who is this? We'll be talking, I don't even know. Then that was how.
All right.
You know,
so let's come to you, sir.
But I know you will tell the story better, please. We want to know. And please don't say the Holy Spirit. The way Holy Spirit is just like watching now. You can't start talking to your Holy Spirit.
You know, my story with her is very. I want to thank God for the best decision I made to have married her. And if there's anything I would say, just like I listened to what the Alake was saying. There's a place of asking God. There's a place of praying together. I can confidently say that one thing that actually happened was the fact that I was praying, but I was pursuing a wrong person. And she was telling me no for 2 years. While she was praying in her own closet, we had not met then, that God should open this veil covering the face of her husband. So, and indeed, it was a veil being removed because it was barely 3 months after she joined the church that I saw her. So, meanwhile, there were some sisters, because they actually called a meeting on my head in the church.
The sisters.
That, the sisters. They said, I thank God I didn't talk to any one of them about anything. So they went to report to pastor that I will brother Nii go and speak to somebody who just came to church. A new member. I thought they were joking. And the pastor called me and I said, that means they were not right for me.
Exactly.
I saw something in someone else. I didn't see them. So, the veil was removed.
Wait. I'm looking lost here. So there's a place of God. There's,
Yes,
because I didn't have romantic blues as a young girl as well. So at what point? There was a point for me to my marriage when I knew, no, I've gotten to where I'm going to sit down. So what point, where was that feeling? What was it like when you said, this person, leave the God part?
Okay.
This is
what did your eye see?
How did the stupid arrow fly?
See.
How is this strike?
The truth is this, for those who know me very well, they know that there's nothing about me. It's all about God. Because I always say that when you remove G from grace, the rest is race. There's nothing about me. Because we met in church, so we can't take church out of our lives.
That's okay.
And so the truth is, at the point when I saw her, there was a lady that was asking me out that I said no to. Yes.
Was asking her?
Yes. A lady was asking me out at that time in school. I said no to her. So the lady still said, at least if we invite you for my birthday, you still come. So I came for that birthday. When I got there, she was the one cooking for the lady. So she was shocked and she said, so what are you doing here, brother? Brother interpreter. So I said, this lady, so he said, so you know her? I said, yes. She said, we'll talk about that later. So when we were gisting one night, and she told me, she said, so what about the lady? I said, she's one of my toasters. And I said, the truth is this. The truth is this. The truth is this. Because
to tell me also. So if you are not,
she asked some leading questions, so I knew she already knew. So, and she said the lady had told her that I asked her out. So I said, no.
All of this while you were in school?
Yes.
When did you now face the schoolwork? I'm wondering.
But obviously, this is a church, or this is a Christian story, Christian love story. So I'm assuming that you guys weren't intimate before marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
Weren't?
We weren't.
You weren't intimate before marriage. It was after marriage.
Yes,
now, people always, let's go into that in a minute, because people always say that in modern times, you are better off experiencing it. Sampling, because the truth is that when you get in, you don't know what you're going to get. And you didn't before you enter. So what's your own view? Do you think, I don't want to ask you a question of have you sampled other people before? I don't know.
But I will still say it.
So, because Nigerians on today, the modern conversation is like, listen, you better don't go and take a risk and enter the marriage, and you know that you're having problems. So, in your view, how did that play out as going?
Okay, ma. So I was not a virgin when I met her. But I met her a virgin. So, but that was before I met God. And at the point where I encountered Christ, I knew that some things were not right. And she told me something when we started dating. She said she had told God that she made a covenant with God that any man that have any intimacy with her before the wedding day should go leprous. I now said, come. How did you know that God answered the prayer? She said, when you try it, you will know. You will know. So the truth is, I've said this on different platforms globally, that you need to live your life on a vow. Because if not, you would fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you should fall for anything, obviously. So she helped me to stand strong. And the truth is this, I'll be very, very sincere. We kissed, we romanced. Before marriage.
So let's
we paid for it.
Wait,
I'll say it.
I don't want him to land. Whether they pay for it first. When you say you kiss,
yes,
please define what that means. Because there are different levels of kissing. Is it there's pecking?
No, it's not Christian peck. We kissed. Was
that touching?
You can't kiss holding your arms at the back.
Let me now answer a question. Let me ask Auntie. Did you touch?
Yes. That was when I was like, see, this one you are trying.
We're not going.
So you cannot. It's better you just help yourself and like that. Stop. You understand?
So now let me ask another question.
I like this.
So you now enter the marriage. Now, you are coming as an experienced person. Okay. You've done A, B, C, whatever.
No,
right?
Okay, A, B, C.
They said they paid for the kissing they did. Give us a bit.
That will get into the churchy. I don't want to get into the spirit part. I want to handle the part of you've done A, B experience. Now meeting somebody who has never ever done it. How did you were you doing one teaching, or was she planning? Has she read books to prepare also? Like, how was that
Did the Holy Spirit minister to her?
Because I need to know, because there are lots of people who are experiencing this right now. Either the man is clueless or the woman is clueless, and they're both clueless. They're confused. So how did you manage that first night or night after that for somebody who's never been there and you come with experience?
I actually read books. I read books a lot
for marriage.
For marriage, marriage books and different ones like that. Because I'm this kind of person that loves reading. So I know that if I'm going to get married, I should add that to what I'm reading, not just read only secular or any other spiritual books. So I read books that can help
that
and
taught
all.
You some things.
Yes.
Or were you frustrated? Sorry, I'm asking you a question. Were you frustrated that there were some things she was not getting as an experienced man?
No, I knew what I was settling for.
Okay.
So I'd prepared my mind that I need to teach her. So yes, and it took us about 2 days or 3 days.
Oh, days, not
before
years.
it happened.
Before it happened.
Before it happened.
Okay.
After the wedding night.
Okay.
It didn't even happen on the wedding night.
It would be a lot of stress.
It was because I told her when we got to the hotel, I said, "Come, you are not on hire purchase to him. You are mine for life. So we're not in a hurry to do anything. We just thanked God and went to bed." And so it was probably the second day or the third day after the wedding that we attempted. And it took time. So my expectations were not so much because I knew that this was a greenhorn.
But you have 3 children now.
By His grace,
obviously.
yes.
So I know that Maria wanted us to let me take us away from we'll take her back to the intimacy, because it's something that a lot of Nigerians are. It's a conversation. It can be a deal breaker, and many people are confused about that journey. But I would like to talk about conflict resolution, because you've started your relationship as we are a Christian couple, and some Christian couple are wondering, how do we have quarrel? This person is not perfect. Man of God is speaking in tongues, but man of God is doing things I don't like, and it's hurting me, and yet he's a man of God. So how do you resolve conflicts when you are both spiritually strong, but this person is doing something that you don't like?
So I would say that by His grace, we had resolved that it was not even something we discussed about, but we got to a point where we told ourselves, we're not going to allow anybody. By His grace, I shared it in our 15 years wedding anniversary story last year, that by His grace, we've not had one person, living or dead, who have settled any quarrel for us. This year will make it 16 years, because we made up our mind that nobody's going to come in between us. So my family members, our family members who are both families right now, they know that there's no secret you tell me that the wife will not know. And there's no thing you tell her that I will not know. So nobody takes advantage of us. So when it comes to conflict, it is inside the bedroom, because there's nothing new under heaven. Okay, I've done something, you don't like it, I am sorry. And I say it with my full chest. Whoever I am outside is outside.
So let me assume
Yes,
that
ma'am.
both of you are calm couples. You don't have strong-head person. You know that in the midst. Because where I'm from, we will have strong-head men. You will talk inside. In the kitchen, you will talk inside. The whole world will hear. They are still talking, they are still not agreeing. So who compromises first? How does this conflict resolution happen? Does it end with, okay, let's just leave it? Or, somebody gives up, or somebody compromises? Or how exactly do you move on? How do you resolve it? What happens? Or no side does it fall?
Let Madam answer this.
Let Madam win. Actually, it's not as if we don't have time that we argue and all that, but let's say before we got married, it was always very difficult for him to, if I do anything, for him to forgive. I would have to be like, I must say, Holy Spirit is it. I'll just tell the Holy Spirit, please let me just touch his heart. That this one, I don't even have beg and beg. It's not that you will beg him like, Jesus. And he will not listen on time. And I'll be like, oh, Holy Spirit, please, just help me touch his heart. By the time we wake up in the morning, let him forget. So, by the time we wake up in the morning, we'll be like, sure, you know what you did last night, it was not good. It makes sense. You understand? I'll be like, I'm sorry. Because me, I've already asked me, please, my own way, whatever way I've wronged him, please, me, I'm sorry. Let me touch his heart, and like that. So gradually, then, now, it's easy to beg. If you do anything, we just let go immediately. It wasn't like the way it was when we first got married.
How do you people agree to discipline your children? Because I know that couples always, especially if you're coming from two different backgrounds,
Yes, ma'am.
always want to do it your way, and this person says this way is better. Did you people come to an agreement on how to discipline your children? Who is the bad cop? Who is the good cop? Or both of you are no cops? Who beats who? Yeah.
Okay, should I say that? So in most cases, the children, of course, they always see mommy as mommy is the, but in most cases they see daddy as the good daddy. But now, I'm the one that disciplines the most.
Okay.
But I'm the closest to the children because I've made them realize that if you want to be great in life, you must live your life by discipline, and there are some things you should not do. So if we correct you, it is for your good. And one day, I was happy when our firstborn said, Dad, I'm not angry that you were angry at us, but the thing is, I know it is for our good, because you've always told us. So at that point, I knew that the message has been passed.
Yeah. Have you ever beaten a child and
Yes.
your wife wasn't happy with it?
Ben.
Ben.
Ben. I don't like to beat them. They know.
You don't jump in me, yeah. You don't separate, you just...
You just be begging me.
I'll just be...
She'll just be using her eyes.
I'll just be using my eyes.
You're a typical Christian wife.
Let me ask this question. Oh, I think I've almost lost it. So you're making money. You're wealthy. You're doing well money. And when money comes, it comes with a lot of attractive women, a lot of attention, a lot of sister. So sister something, Sister Mary will come, pastor, everybody's coming around because, hey, he's not just a pastor, he was
a youth
wealthy.
pastor.
Yeah, exactly. So he had lots of women around him. How do you handle it? And how do you handle it when you know that especially now that he's got money to spend? He's not the same guy that he was, not the same interpreter that he met. He now has cars, he now has house, he has some cash. So how do you manage the sisters around?
What do you do today?
Actually, my own kind of person is from the beginning, I already decided that if this will work, there has to be trust. So when I see you just dancing around him, I'll just say hello to you. I don't have any issue with him because I trust my...
Tico, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from, please?
I beg.
We're serious.
I'm from Ikorodu.
Lagos.
No, Lagos. You are a Lagosian.
No, can't be like Ikorodu people. You be like them for that.
You don't understand.
No, I'm not getting it.
I just say maybe in that aspect I might be gentle. Then when it comes to when I'm supposed to act, you don't want to see that.
Please, we're like that. We're Lagosians. We're like that. We're like that. We trust our men. Please. We can't lose sleep over stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead, sir.
So she always tells me something. In everything you do, I've decided that I'll always leave you to God. Always have at the back of your mind that God is with you in everything you do. And if you want progress in life, please make sure that you think about God. Leave me in all of this. So she will always hand me over to God.
And that's heavy.
And she will pray for me. And in the night, there was a night I saw her stark naked praying for me, holding my legs. So I knew that there are some times I want to misbehave that I'll
You remember that picture?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to try that one. Hold Mr. Brown's leg.
You will see me.
Valentine gift. We are prophesying.
You know, when we talk about, I just tell him, if you let go, now should be your destiny.
It's God. We use God to hold this.
High level manipulation.
High level. No. They say hand him over to God because you cannot see everything. No monitoring.
So, as a Muslim woman, when my husband is asleep, that's when I crawl. I do my prayers quietly. In fact, I can finish. Maybe he sees, but he won't know. But this new one, you will see.
I didn't actually plan for him to see. I didn't know he was going to see.
No, but
But I want to ask.
We have taken wisdom from your experience.
Let me ask you this question about before the money came. Yes, before the money came and managing family in the beginning. Because some people are looking at marriage and are wondering, until I have money before I'll get married, because I don't have it yet. How was it managing each other before the money came? And I think I would like both of you to answer.
Okay, let me start on that. So the truth is, I'd had businesses before I met her in school. I've always been, because I lost my father at a very young age, and I've been on the street from like age 13, doing many jobs. So I've always told many young other people that your background is not the reason why your back is on the ground. So you don't have to blame any uncle, any auntie. You are absolutely responsible for the outcome of your life. So from age 13, I've been doing many jobs. So by the time we met each other, I was already doing business. I'd made my first million in the university. I was not depending on anybody. I was even, by His grace, sending money home. I'd put my mother on salary as a student in the university, and every of my siblings. I was doing phone call, because GSM came to Nigeria, 99, by 2021, Richard Cards business. So I was doing it in school, so I was making enough money. So one of my lecturers told me one day, she calls me Deacon. Then I was just a brother in church, but she calls me, she said, this Deacon, that you have how many staffs, and you can afford to pay them on a monthly basis, go and marry. That my husband didn't have up to this before he got married to me. So I sat down and I said,
you know what? Toasting you.
So, I mean, by His grace, did some little things where, so I looked at it truly, and I said, am I ready to settle down? It was a big question for me. And so she asked me one day, she said, we got her for like 2.5 years. So, and she asked me, said, do you want to marry me, or you just want to be friends, and all of that? So when I went to God in prayer, I asked God for 3 signs. The first sign, I saw it. The second sign, I saw it. The third sign, I saw it. So I said, I need not anybody to tell me, this is my wife. So I went to her and I said, you know what? I'm ready to marry you. So what's the next step to take? So there's nothing absolutely, even in the secular, there's a place of that God that you need to pray prayer of inquiry and say, Lord, what are you saying about this matter? And He will talk. He's busy speaking. You know, one thing I've seen is that in this atmosphere, we are not listening to Max FM because we didn't tune into Max FM. If we bring it no, I'm not preaching. But you know that if you bring it any kind of radio.
In a nutshell now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Pastor. Interpreter. In a nutshell, when she came, there was money.
She met small money.
She met small money.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So how did you people manage? Okay, so you were working as well.
I had business, but me, I'm a rich girl from home.
Yeah, so yeah,
So your starting point was not from the mat; it was from the bed.
No, she met me with that little money. She met me in a mud house. I was living in a mud house.
That's your
But you were working.
No, not my the house I was living as a student in school.
Yeah, you were saving money now.
I was saving money, yes.
Yes.
So
you had your head screwed.
And you also came from a good family, good background.
She was living in a 2-bedroom flat as a student, while I was living in 1-room mud house. But I was using a car.
Help me, tell us, how does he do financially? Does he keep his pay in secret? Cannot reach
password. Can't touch his phone.
Password. And when finances are coming, you say, none of your business. First, women matter.
That's
and handle it. How does it do?
Actually, I think from the beginning, is this kind of person that is a family person. So he doesn't have any reason to hide anything. I know his PIN. Our children know his card PIN. I know his.
You can take the card and just waka.
I may not take it if he doesn't give it to me. Oh, wow. But I know it. And then there's nothing.
Have you ever done anything daring?
Like, as a woman.
Daring that his head spinned and he said, if not for God, I would have sent you back to your father's house. You've never done anything like that.
She's a good girl.
Like she.
Yeah,
like,
always forgive.
I always. Like one day
you're like me, we forgive.
Oh,
Mariah. We don't like
I understand that marriage is for 2 fools, and she understood it very well. The truth is, we talk about many things. We gossip about people. We have so many things to talk about. So it's in the midnight, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., we're still talking. By 6:30 to 7, we're praying with the children already. So like there's no room for.
She does not annoy you. He's asking a question. Okay,
like,
I have my husband's PIN, and he would not know. Like 3 weeks ago, I was on my way to the market. I thought, they have sent me subvention for the month, but I just want to chop this person's money. So I took his phone, opened it into the bank app, and sent money to myself. Not our joint, for myself. And I walked away. And I left the phone till today. I have not broached the matter.
You did not know.
You did not
the
know.
money is plenty.
Because usually I know the pins. I would never touch it. That's what this is asking.
Yeah, you've
tried. They just try to become the wife.
Are you just a perfect Christian girl?
Test your powers.
It's not a perfect marriage,
what
actually.
I would do is tell him, please, I want to do something. So when I'm coming for that, asking for this one, don't say no. don't just
You
want
want
to hear.
him ahead.
Don't try me. So don't just say no. When I'm bringing it, I don't want to hear no.
But I know in an area of conflict might be he works too hard, he's always everywhere. So and we don't have enough time together. How do you manage?
I don't understand.
He's my
They find conflict.
He's my
conflict. There's no conflict.
He's my Oga, so I know
We have to wrap up.
And I'm in the marriage.
We have to wrap up.
Yeah.
You know all their issues.
No, I shall know. I shall know.
It's not actually.
It's not perfect.
It shouldn't be painted as a perfect marriage. We have our down times, but the truth is this: God has really helped us. That's the truth.
I have a good
We know, yes, we know when to stop. I know when to keep quiet. I know when to walk away. I mean, that's I'll just.
And there's no ex-girlfriend somewhere that once in a while they'll just flash around, they'll just show up and then.
The thing is this: if the temptation is so high like this, I talk that lady into meeting her, and they become friends. That's the truth.
Meanwhile, he uses Jesus as a weapon a lot. When you meet him like this, he's going to be like, Jesus, oh, by the grace of God. So for those that don't know, that can be a weapon for you if you are being tempted by people. Just when you meet them, start shaking them. When you meet him like this, he will shake you by the special grace of God.
Ron says that anytime he goes to the gym, when he sees, just say everybody, hello, madam. Yes, ma. Yes, ma. He just call everybody, ma. He just call everybody, ma. Yes, ma. Yeah, please. Ma, everybody's ma. He doesn't even try to look at your face.
How do you both enjoy yourselves?
Enjoy yourselves.
We have stipulated times we go for vacation. Even from the time that we got married, we've had times that nobody have access to us. It's just the two of us.
Just the
it's
two
just
of
the two of us. You remember when we went for the
Valentine?
Yes,
Yes,
we don't miss many. We don't miss many.
Yeah.
We are very deliberate about many things, and so even if they don't see me for some time, they know that I'm coming back.
Well, congratulations. We have to just greet you for your marriage. 16 years. We have to run.
It's our money.
I took
my money.
Abio, my husband, not your husband.
I took my husband's money. I did not.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your story and wish you all the best. We learned quite a bit. So those nice women like us, all you have to do is just go stark naked.
Hold his leg.
And pray.
We will hold his
leg. God will hand them over to you.
There are 2 legs carrying to good places.
What a way to end the Valentine show.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Thank you so much.